Kacey Green here. Yes, I do have a fork in my breast pocket. I'm about to eat some delicious cantaloupe, and for some reason, there was no fork in my lunchbox today. But we're on our way to the supercharger to boost the car up for the next couple days, and there was an update. So let's take a look at it. When the car came back from this particular update, it didn't go back into sleep mode. It actually shut down all the way. So I had to boot it from, I pushed the brake and I didn't realize that was actually starting it up. So I actually went ahead and tried to do a scroll wheel reset, and that didn't do anything. And when the car came back, it came back kind of funny at first, but I think it's good to go now. Since the video is usually not very clear of the screen, I'm going to include a screenshot of the update screen. Here we go. Let's put in the navigation where we're going, because the car is not yet warm, which means that we won't be charging at optimal rates when we get there. This is our first update with the Hardware 3 computer, first feature update with the Hardware 3 computer. So there's actually some changes here from before. Now, we did get the cone update, but that was an update to the same version we were already on, and that was already out there. And then the next one after that was a bug fix update. So this is our first full feature update. And with that, we get adjacent lane speeds, automatic wiper improvements, and automatic lane change automatic lane change improvements, as well as auto steer stop sign warning. So apparently they put back the stop light detection, and then they added to it stop sign detection, and we'll see just how well it does. And then I've seen with the Model 3 with Hardware 3 what this update provides. But let's take a look and see how it looks on the Model S and Model X, because we have a different interface than they do. Cones everywhere, cones. The cones it's seeing are still actually fire hydrants. There's nothing on the road that looks like a cone. You know what? Ha! There they are. The bases of the signs are cones. Alright, we're about to get on the highway, which will give us an opportunity to try out some of these features, including we got the automatic wipers. So I feel there should be some wipes. So I'm going to give it a pulse of the wipers. I don't know where this guy's going, because I've got the yielded green, or protected green I should say, and yeah, so I feel this should be more wipery. I'm gonna push the button. Oh, I didn't even need to push it. I was about to, and it figured it out. Yeah. But that first one, Tesla solved it. Wasn't enough, and they have logged it. Where? I don't know. In the car for the next update. It's sent immediately to the mothership. I have no idea. Okay, on the highway. On autopilot. 70 is not the right speed for here. Not the curve, but it's like too fast for the road. So I'm gonna turn on the turn signal, and it immediately gets over. Oh, I love it. Not that delay for thinking or whatever. So let's see now if it initiates its own lane change. Sorry, I need to change my wipers now. Alright, so yeah, do it. Whoa, so we got the, that's not even poor weather. Alright, so I'm going to slow the wipers down. Further. Alright, so we don't know what it does on its own lane change. We just know that we need to be away from exit 166A, because I'm going to the Springfield supercharger. Oh, wipers are actually off right now. Let's change lanes. If navigating on autopilot comes back before we get to exit 166, the car will try to exit on the wrong exit. if the mapping hasn't changed at all. And since there were no advertisements to them changing the mapping, we should assume they haven't. So even in this mode, if it's sure of what's going on, it does still do the immediate lane changes, which is just regular old autopilot. Alright, so we passed both the 166s with a signal to get back. Car checks, and immediately turns over. Awesome. I don't really think it's really checking. I think it's just giving 2 blinks. That way, anybody around us doesn't. Yep, anybody around us doesn't get caught by surprise. Because it's got 8 cameras. That makes it 360-degree vision, which means that it's checking all the time. Let's change back. It's so much more natural. I don't think we're going to get our navigation on autopilot back before the end of this. Maybe we're slowing down a little bit. I'm still here. So the lane got wider. It didn't do that weird centery thing. That's cool, because that's always very annoying that because the lane gets wider, it immediately jumps over to the center of that. It's the wrong answer. It should just stick to the last lane it can see. Okay, it's not going to get off the highway, so we will do it ourselves. Signal. Signal. Oh yeah, it did it. Oh yeah. That was close though. I might have had to kind of step in. Those aren't cones, those are reflectors. Alright. It's in the wrong lane, so I'm going to go back to manual, and we will see you at the supercharger. Okay, so before we get back to those cantaloupe, we're going to look at the release notes again. Alright, so the adjacent lane speeds, what that's going to do is it's going to slow our car down if we're approaching a line of traffic that's either stopped or moving very slowly. And the reason for that is so that if you get some super intelligent person who sarcastically jumps out of the slow lane without looking into your lane that is moving quite briskly, it makes it so you don't have to slam on brakes. And that's safer for everybody, because these brilliant people cause so many accidents with their impatience. And this will help mitigate that by reducing the speed differential by a great deal. If the car has chosen to do the wrong thing, what you'll do is you'll step on the accelerator pedal, and then your car will resume back to the set speed, assuming that there's nobody in front of you making it go slower than the set speed, or a sharp curve that also will make it slow down. The automatic wiper improvements, as I alluded to, they have a new system. They've named it Deep Rain. And what that will do is the car will adjust for rain using the cameras, just like it did before, but now they've trained up a new neural network in the autopilot computer that does supposedly much better than before. And so far, other than a couple corrections and when I turned it off trying to get the navigation on autopilot to come back in this 5 minutes of driving with it, I find it to be pretty alright. And if you hit the wipe button right here that makes the car wipe the windows, like so. If you push it in that half press that just does one wipe without pushing it in all the way for a windshield cleaning, then you get you train the neural network. Like I said, I don't know if that goes back to Tesla or if it's just for your car. I assume it does go back to Tesla, because we get different types of rain all across the country, and they only can see so much over there in Southern California. So the next thing is the automatic lane change improvements. As you saw, when I flick the turn signal, if it's clear, boom, nearly instant lane change, which is pretty cool. Model X. And I'm curious to see how it behaves when the lane is not clear. I mean, obviously it's not going to just jump in front of people unless it thinks it can do so, but I'm curious to see how that feels, what the changes are with that behavior. And then from what I could tell before the navigation on autopilot gave out, it still has that weird hesitation thing where it's almost as if you actually have to put extra pressure on the wheel, as if you were acknowledging your turn, even though it's navigated on autopilot without confirmation. I believe I showed you how to do that in the previous update, but I'm going to show you again just in case. So you go to the car controls, or case it looks like a little Model X. Then you go to autopilot, and you'll have your auto steer beta, you'll have your navigate on autopilot beta, and you'll customize your navigate on autopilot. I like mine on all the time, and I like Mad Max because supposedly it keeps up with LA traffic. It doesn't yet, but maybe soon. And then I just turned off require lane confirmation. I do believe I included this on video, but it's pertinent. And so that makes it so that the car will, instead of asking me to push the autopilot stalk to make it actually change lanes, it'll just, if it feels pressure on the wheel, it will change lanes. And the way I actually cancel the autopilot, not cancel, but delay lane changes is I just don't give it any pressure when it wants to make a stupid lane change, like going behind somebody that it's trying to pass. And then once it's past them, I give it the pressure, and then it starts to move. I imagine that's going to be the same based on what I saw. Like literally right before it quit, it wasn't doing anything, and so I gave it that extra pressure. I was already holding the wheel so that it would never ask me, hey, hands on wheel, because that's super annoying. So I was already holding it with enough pressure for that. Be right back. So the car felt like it was still waiting for me to add extra pressure to the pressure it takes to keep the nags away. So once I did that, it started the lane change, and then it immediately freaked out for the rain. So that was actually my wife calling in. So we're gonna go get her, and no, I mean, we're gonna go get her, but I just don't. There's one small section of what the navigate on autopilot will actually do if it's not raining too much. So we'll see if that happens. If not, then this is gonna be a multi-day video. And before I get to the next steps, I want to ask you to like this video, give it a thumbs up, write a little comment down below, ask any questions, comments, concerns, and I'll be sure to answer them. And we're almost to our 1,000 subscribers. I know it seems like it's so far away at over 345, but it's not impossible for us to make 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, which is our goal. So if you could help out with that, send your friends and everybody to subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And the next scene, which you'll see, is hopefully me demonstrating either the slow cars in the next lane or how navigate on autopilot does to compare how it went before. And then I've already showed you the wipers, and if it does have the slow cars, I'm going to also tap the accelerator and let's see what's different. And I'm going to try to keep this a shorter video, so with that, I will catch you on the flip side. The last item on the updates was the auto steer and stop sign warning. I don't intend to actually demonstrate that just because it did so poorly the last time it had the red light warnings, and I don't want to be the one to demonstrate it. Basically what happens is you get a hands-on wheel, red hands, and maybe an icon of a stoplight or stop sign, but I don't need to do those kind of panic stops, and I don't need to draw the attention of the local constabulary. Constabulary. I don't need to draw the eye of the law, the police, the 50, the 50. I don't want a ticket. So with that, I'm going to go unplug now that we are actually back up above 50%, and go grab my wife, and that should be enough for me to make it to and from work and picking her up again tomorrow, and then back to work again the next day. I would have preferred more charge, but that didn't happen. So we'll be back here again before the week is out because of the lack of charge. And yeah, so catch you on the next scene. So one thing I noticed on the way home tonight, and it wasn't for this version of the software because I just got that after I parked when I got home, was with the new Hardware 3 computer, it still has the random reboots while you're driving. And the way I know this is because as I arrived in the parking garage, my high beams came on. and the little auto symbol went away, which is indicative of the computer restarting. Or all of your cameras being out because it can't see, but that was definitely not the case here. Alright, so now we're on that road where it'll try to drive. Let's see if it does try to drive and how it does the lane changes. But anyway, so then after a short while, the lights turn back to regular, which tells me that it was a reboot. Because if the cameras were out, they don't generally come back, at least not in that same driving session. They tend to stay out, which is rather annoying. Okay, so that was pretty good. That was the navigation on autopilot changing lanes, and it just kind of verified that my hand was there. Not the usual like weird multi-press, but it was a lane split 1 into 2, so it might not have actually wanted to confirm that. And then coming up is an exit, so that also will not. Are you doing 40 and a 50? That's stupid. Anyway, coming up is just an actual exit, so it will just take this normally. Oh yes, so Senator Markey seems to feel that autopilot is unsafe because people think that it is full self-driving, even though it is not. I've offered multiple times on Twitter to give Senator Markey a ride in this Model X, either in Massachusetts, where he's representing, he's a senator, or preferably right here in the DC Metro. And what I'm hoping is that he will at least get an understanding of the technology, rather than just try to. I don't think he's actually introducing any bills on it yet, hopefully, but he's bashing the technology in the public sphere. And that's one thing that just rather annoys me, is that when people speak out against that which they don't know, and I'd like to give him the experience so that he will be speaking from a place of knowledge rather than fear. And so this morning, Electric had a link to his contact page, so I figured that might be something that his staff is actually monitoring, since they are not monitoring his Twitter to a level that they would have seen the offer to either turn it down or accept it. And hopefully we'll have that. I won't record him or anything unless he gives us permission, but I will let you know whether or not he decides to come in, because usually what it is getting butts in seats that sells the car. But in this case, I just want to show there's not this boogeyman. It's literally super smart cruise control right now, except for the ability for it to take lanes and stuff. That's a little bit better than cruise control. And then if he does take us up on it, I'd be glad to show him some more as we get into the actual rollout of the full self-driving features, which Elon has told us for the first few months won't be unattended. It'll be automated, and you'll be sitting back watching the car. And I imagine the very first couple times that they add features, you'll actually still have to hold on to the wheel, just so that people don't get complacent. And we've now rolled up for my wife's job. She's going to come in and tell me all about her day. So to protect her privacy, we shall look at this guy and that guy blocking the way. We will end the video now, and I will pick up while I try to show you some more features. She got out early enough that I can get a Chipotle dinner. So we're going to do Chipotle, and then we're going to try to redo the smart summon in this parking lot at night to see if anything has changed with this release. It's worth a shot. Alright, and let's see if it behaves any differently now with the Come To Me feature. Alright, so it turns on. It's in reverse. It's going to go around this way. The screen looks a little better. Oh, you can see that on the screen recorder. It looks a little better. And let's kind of get behind this Jeep, because it's just going to make a mess. Look at this person. Come to me. Come on. All right, here we go. Look at this person. No. We're in luck. The car has chosen to take the interstate to work today. So we might get to try out, oh well, there's snow all over that car. The car has chosen to take the interstate to get to work today. So there's a chance we could try out some of those missing features. We'll see you in a minute. Looking at all the cars around here, it looks like we had a decent amount of snowfall last night. Glad I didn't have to drive in that. Can't stand the snow. Ever since I was a kid and had to shovel the driveway, I've been totally over snow. But what I did like to do was kind of lay on the carpet and sit in a sunbeam and read a good book. But there's not a lot of time to just do that during the work week as adulting. There's a new animation for the semi-trucks. That was backwards, but that's kind of cool that they show the front of the truck now. Alright, let's go on the highway and see what happens. Three. This dump truck must be empty. He is flying. Usually they crawl to a start at this junction on ramp. Alright, let's see what she does. Alright, same on ramp. And yes, so the lane changes are definitely more assertive, but it still does that stupid delay / kind of confirm list confirm, which is insane. Alright. So it was not afraid of the truck this time. I don't know that we're going to have any slower traffic to contend with. Yes, I like that it gives less blinks before it actually makes a move. The fact that the car would sit there for so long would let so many jerks just close the gap, which one is, bad juju. It's illegal. Not how you drive, but that's exactly what a lot of people do. They're like, oh, I can't leave a space. You can't get in front of me. We're racing, even though we're going completely different places. Alright, so looks like no slow traffic to contend with. If I come up across anything on the surface streets, I'll try and grab a photo of it. Or video, obviously. Photo would be useless. So the other day when I said that the guy with the sports car had the obstacle-aware cruise control, the obstacle-aware acceleration kick in, completely real. Somebody jumped in the acceleration lane and didn't accelerate, and I pushed the pedal not all the way down, but I did give it some gusto, and the car decided it wasn't gonna let me go, and it feels really weird, like you're stepping into mush. But that's what we got. Is this a cop? There's no cop. No, that's no cop. So anyway, that's what we got. And then the windshield wipers reacted to a little bit of a fluke of this guy's uncleared snow car. It wasn't much, and the wipers went, so they're doing all right there. Okay, I'm going past slower traffic now. Let's see if the car figures it out. Probably not. Nope. But this is why it should slow down, because you get people like that with the one signal or no signal who just jump out because they think that the lane is free without actually confirming. Not much battery left, but not far to go either. Actually, at this point, I don't know that I'll actually get any more gaps like that to try it out with. So I'll turn it back on if we do. So I didn't have any opportunities to try out the, well, I had one opportunity that was ruined by the impatient one, to try out the adjacent lane speed adaptation feature, but we were able to use autopilot a lot more for this trip than normal. Or not really normal, this is the new normal, isn't it? Than previously. And I came out for one turn that was too sharp, and I didn't actually hit the front of the line until just now, so I did pretty good. So you can see the progress it's making, and I enjoyed that. It even was able to handle a lane change coming off the stoplight, and everybody else was going slower than even just the follow mode that it was doing. So I flicked the signal on when the lanes came back, and actually I had it on before the lanes went away, and it didn't complete before the solid paint came up. And then after the dash lanes returned, I hit the button and it changed immediately. So that was pretty cool. So it'll probably be this weekend, or maybe I'll get lucky on one of these commutes before I can try and see about the adjacent speed. I almost actually got the red light. The yellow lights here in Virginia are borderline illegal. They are super short for the speeds, and so I ended up sailing through a yellow light that turned red while I was in the middle of the intersection on autopilot, and that would have generated an alert. So like I said previously, I'm not going to try and trigger this. Well, I might try the stop sign if I find an empty parking lot with a stop sign, just to see what happens there, but I'm not going to try the stop light. If it happens and I have it on camera, that's cool, but I don't intend to be in that situation. With that, we will see you on the next commute. I got a message that the left door pillar was blocked. That's a new message, and a lot more useful than what we had before. Way to go. There's the message I was telling you about. Left front fender camera blocked or blinded. Last time it was the pillar camera, and it cleared. There we go. Okay, so for some unknown reason, I have no auto steer whatsoever. If I go to my settings, whoops, one second. If I go to my settings, all the autopilot stuff is turned on. It's not complaining about cameras. It's not complaining about vision. I didn't exceed 90 miles an hour. It just isn't working. There's a new quirk, new bug. So I'm going to reset this thing while we roll. That's probably not going to help anything, but it'll make me feel better. Two wheels. Now we wait. The music will probably come back, and I should have turned off the camera before I did that. But oh well. There's that thing it did when I first booted onto this version, where it did just the corner. I don't know if you saw that, but it was in the upper left corner of the binnacle display. And autopilot is still unavailable. The good thing is that traffic-aware cruise control is also available, so could be worse. With that, I'll catch you the next time something interesting happens. So, even though I can't use autopilot, the car is super responsive to blinkers. So if somebody blinks that they want to get in and there's room, the car lets them in. It's way too nice. But it does have the effect of preventing accidents. Okay, so we just changed the setting for the navigate on autopilot from chime and vibrate to just chime, and I don't actually have to change the pressure on the wheel before it makes the move anymore. It used to, if I did that, it would usually take an extra couple beats before it would go. So I think I'm gonna leave it on chime only for now. Okay, so I've got to end this video, and I've been trying for several days now to get the last couple features, the adjacent lane speed and the warnings for the stoplights and stop signs. I actually ran through quite a few, well, nearly ran through quite a few stop signs on various places, and all on private property, and didn't get a peep out of the system, both with lines, without lines, whether they're on the map or not on the map. So I think it's going to be pretty much just as effective as it was with the original release of the stoplight detection. And some people got to work consistently, some people did not. And Elon has tweeted that we have a holiday surprise update coming. So I need to end this one before that one comes out and get this on YouTube so you guys can see it. I do want to take some more time with Smart Summon. I might do that this weekend. It's the time that tried to roll through that intersection at the same time that person in the crossover was rolling through the stop sign. And it warrants extra looks, and we shall see about that. And as far as the performance, love it. It's faster. I turned off the vibrate and chime, so it just chimes now. So now I don't need to constantly re-pull on the wheel to get it to confirm the lane changes. And overall, I like this update. And I can't wait to see what's next, because it's just getting better and better. And the wipers, they're all over the map. In some ways, it's a lot better. And in some ways, it's not as good as our Autopilot 1 Model S that we had. But that wasn't perfect either, but it was pretty good, because they were using a hardware rain sensor there. But so I want to thank you for watching this video. Ask you to give it a thumbs up, type a comment down below, ask any questions or concerns you have, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Thanks for watching. I totally didn't even mention that Tesla Mobile Service came by and removed the Tesla accessory alarm for me. So now I have cabin overheat protection and Sentry mode. So my dash cam can continue to work, the storage device for the Tesla cam can continue to work, and it's marvelous. I mean, the European alarm is great if somebody's going to be tipping your car or smashing the windows while Sentry mode is off, but for the way that I drive and park, it was more of a hindrance. Especially with it being an Obsidian black car, so it's already going to have a higher temperature than any other Tesla. And then you've got this big sky windshield, so that doesn't help either with the heat rejection. And with that, I'm going to, again, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Catch you on the flip side. Have a great day, everybody.